Hello everyone. I'm kinda just chain recording again, so multiple videos in a row. Let's turn off the view look because it's quite distracting. It's a bit older game, so I had to download this off the Voobly website. My recording wasn't available, so I took someone else's, as you guys could have seen. But anyways, let's jump into the game. So this was a pretty nice game, I remember, so let's just record it and see what it was like. I can't really remember it that well. I can just remember it being a tight game with some interesting stuff. So let's have a look and jump into the player. So it's gonna be me playing as the set on Frozen Wastes. It's actually one of my favorite maps for a set on Frozen Wastes. Actually, you can convert all the walruses. They contain tons of food, and you know, normally many people can't really go for the walrus because they're that unsafe in the middle. But with sets, you can convert them and eat them in your base. I just love that so much. Anyways, in the pocket, it's gonna be Iceball playing as the Loki. I think he would have rather been on the side, swap places with me, but that's not gonna be the case for him. And he is a solid like 1650 or 1700 player, something like that. I graded this match at 17 plus. It's gonna be kind of a mixed bag between 1650s, 1700s, and 1800s. So I just graded at 1700. I think that's like average level in here of everyone. So if this is on our other flank, it's gonna be Freya, which is actually Ragnarok's, UCA Ragnarok's. So yeah, he's gonna be on the other flank playing as the Hades. And who is he gonna be playing against? He is gonna be playing against Amintus. And Amintus is a friend of mine, solid 1650 player, about my level I think. Yeah, about my level I think. I'm not sure how good his Zeus is really. I didn't really see him play Zeus too often. I think mainly his Egypt is very good. But yeah, let's see what he's going to be going for in this game. House coming up, doing pretty much standard stuff. And our friend Trubbish here. Well, usually you guys can see him in my own team, but this time Amentus and Trubbish are going in the enemy team because we all believe that it would be imbalanced if the three of us would team. And I was like, let nephews with each other, you know, team up. Because they're family and I will go in the other team, you know, that's kind of fine. So yeah, that's what we went for. So Trubbish is going to be playing the Ra in the pocket, and I'm thinking he's going to be very happy about that. Let's see what's going on here for. This is going to be free, pretty much standard I think. And this guy is going for Hunt in here, okay. Anyways, he's going to be pretty happy about his position there in the pocket, and I think that Heliax, also known as Kvoth, or Kvoth, I pronounced it earlier. I'm not sure what is the right pronunciation, but you guys know what I mean. He is an 18 plus Gaia main, probably the best Gaia around at this point. And he's going to be playing as Orano, so that's going to be pretty challenging for me. Me playing as my secondary god, and although Kvoth is not Aura main, his Atlantis is obviously going to be quite good. So that might bring some challenges to me, I guess. Especially since he's an 18 plus player. So let's see what's going to happen. Let's jump back to my perspective and let's see if we can see something so far. So 3 on gold, just a house builder, and I'm actually gathering food here, which might cause some delay in my advance time. So let's see. It seems like I'm aiming for 3 on wood, which is gonna mean that I'm not gonna go for 1 TC fast heroic, but rather for 2 TC fast heroic. It kind of indicates it in my build order, and I'm converting the walruses all the way here. So that's gonna be actually someone else's hunt, and I have lots of goats, so I'm thinking that I'm gonna be in a pretty good position economy wise, if nothing too bad happens. As you guys can see, I decided to focus a little bit more on food at this point, because I just wanted to advance as soon as I could. That's something I should do more often if I actually go for forward hunt, to just focus a little bit more on food so I don't get delayed all that much. So let's see what is my uptiming actually going to be. That English sentence didn't really make sense. But whatever, nice amount of goats here. Not that much here. I should probably donate some to the Loki since I'm going for farms anyways. It's gonna be like 20 minutes in until I ate all these goats. So it seems like I am... Come on, click it up. Okay, finally. So it's not gonna be that much delayed, I guess, just 15 seconds. That is actually pretty huge, but it won't be any sort of problem. Let's see how Trubbish is doing. So he's already like halfway. So he's gonna be, yeah, he's gonna be significantly faster. But let's see if I'm gonna be able to be prepared for the rain in time. So Hermes coming up from Amintus. And what's going on here? Just an Amintus scout. Otherwise not much. And the Hertzers are coming in. What is gonna be his plan with the Hertzers? It seems like he's gonna be wanting... for now he's just scouting around, but I'm expecting that he's just gonna want to protect me at this point. So I can boom for free. It's kinda looking like he's going for that. But let's see what's gonna be his plan. In the meantime, Ragnarox is taking a second TC for himself. That's pretty much standard. And how is Trubbish doing? He's probably quicker on a second TC too. Yeah, he's already taken it with the Pharaoh in there. I usually don't use the Pharaoh since it's usually not needed. I'd rather have it on the gold so I can make my farms a bit more fast. But the farms are not coming in just yet. Oh, there they are. Okay, apparently they are. And for me, I'm in Classic and the Shadoof is up 50%. So I'm kinda expecting that I'm gonna be slightly late for the rain. So that's gonna be unfortunate for me. This is quite nicely secured, by the way. I don't really expect that much raiding on there. And as you guys can see, Haliax, or rather Icepole, is quite committed on keeping Kvav at bay. So I can boom for free, so this will remain uncontested. And as you guys can see, I just started making farms when the rain started. And that's not what you usually want. Do I have like husbandry and stuff? No, not yet. Do I actually even have to plow? Yeah, I do have to plow. But husbandry is not coming in. Is it coming in here? Yes, it is. Okay. So yeah, I'm not gonna benefit as much from the rain, sadly. That's gonna be quite a sad story. Second TC not yet up. And this is gonna be the end of my animal conversion. Most likely. Yeah, this walrus is not gonna survive. Poor walrus. At least I have this walrus still. So these guys are on the goats at this point. And Trubbish is probably gonna be pretty close to advancing soon. He's very nicely set up on the resource, so I guess he might be going for that soon. And he actually had vision over this. This is nicely hidden, I didn't notice that. So they could see me build it without the Pharaoh and nobody did something. That just surprises me. That surprises me a whole lot. That Haliax didn't send at least like 4 Murmillo. This is gonna be some serious losses for Icepole, I think. Yeah, Kvav really didn't lose anything, really. Yeah, Minotaur versus Wadjet, that's not gonna be ending too well for Mr. Wadjet here. But with the assistance of the Pharaoh, this might change the tide. You don't want to lose this Pharaoh though. Okay, let's have a look. So my animals were coming in to assist, but they decided to do something else in the end. And how is my advance coming in? Not yet. So as I anticipated earlier, I'm gonna be slightly slower. Amintus being on 3 TCs, let's have a look at that. That's gonna be very good. 3 TC boom as Zeus, that's gonna be looking quite scary. Whereas Ragnarox is on just 2. He doesn't really have that many upgrades though. How about Ragnarox? 3rd TC is not yet coming in, but he is doing at least a little bit better on the upgrades. And now I'm interested to see, did Haliax, being the Atlantean, actually... No, he didn't leech off the rain. That's what I usually do, even on 1 TC. I try to leech off the rain with at least 2 or 3 farms. Restoration from Freya coming in, that's interesting. with this choke point and all from yellow. It's just a fight that should have been retreated from, in my opinion. But let's jump back to my perspective. And Nefties is finally coming in. It's gonna be a very late, well, like 9:50 most likely. That's gonna be pretty late compared to Trubbish. I think his Migdol might actually already be up at this point. Rock coming in. No Migdol. Maybe it's gonna be some sort of faster mythic. He is seeming to gather up some resources at this point, but our friend Iceball is gonna be backed off Hunt once again. He's wanting to go for these walruses, but he's not really having that much luck with getting the walruses. And what am I doing in the meantime? As you guys can see, it seems like I'm interested to settle with my 30C. And I'm not really all that interested in starting to play the game just yet. Not really all that much. Yeah, it seems like I want to assist in here at least a little bit. So, is my Pharaoh moving in yet with my Vils? Come on, they should be. Oh, there's the Pharaoh. And there's the Vils, okay. In the meantime, we should be looking at this. So Freya seems to be quite nicely doing for himself. We've got a nice army already. With more army here, he actually has quite a lot of army compared to Amintus. He doesn't really have all that much. Trubbish not having army either yet. But Iceball seems to be struggling against Kvav very hard. But he succeeded in keeping him off me. I wasn't raided once so far, so that's a pretty good job by him. Very nicely played, and I should really thank him for that, for protecting me. So as you guys can see, I want to secure this first before I started taking it. I want to take it slowly. So a bit of a raiding party here from Ragnarok's on Kvav actually. Okay, should move this back ASAP. Yep, my reaction is gonna be fast, so that's gonna be meaning. Okay, that's a fairly early Sentinels. But thanks for that, I guess. In the meantime, it seems like Iceball is rather abusing this opportunity to take this second TC for himself. But the tornado is coming in for my friend Trubbish here. He did go for the fast tornado in the end, a very fast tornado, being at 11 minutes. But now it's gonna be, he's not gonna have much to follow up on that, I think. No, he's just building his first Migdol now. So it's gonna be up to Kvav to, you know, follow up on this. So Iceball is in a very tough spot at this point. He does have quite a bit of resources except for food. Okay, so let's jump back to my perspective. So what am I doing in the meantime? So Siegeworks is coming up. I do have a pretty nice army already in here. And I should probably start using it soonly, I think. That would be pretty good if I did. Yeah, that would probably be kind of needed for me to start doing something soon, because Iceball is in a really bad spot, and although Ragnarok is doing pretty well for himself compared to Amintus, I think. Okay, so actually Amintus is starting to jump in here as well. He's gonna try to help Kvav. Okay, so Kvav's second TC is gonna be denied at this point, but it seems like Amintus is actually gonna be helping Kvav to really remove Iceball from the game at this point. He only has this army, but that's like all he is having really. And I'm not helping. Ah! My Vils are here. And the Pharaoh too. Okay, so that is gonna be meaning that there is gonna be a shifting sands. And it seems that Ragnarok is actually wanting to assist in here as well. So that's gonna be quite interesting. So yeah, this TC is gonna fall most likely, and in the meantime, so So he's shifting sand from Trubbish to counter it really. That's alright, I guess, to counter this attack over here, but it was not that successful, and the ancestors are dealing with the units from blue quite nicely, or rather teal. So that's nice. He's gonna have a mythical spawn in there, so it seems like pink is saved for the moment at this point. And the TC is gonna be stolen for me. Let's see if I'm gonna be successful at that. Yeah, this is not gonna be enough, Trubbish, that one camel. You're gonna need to send in some more in order to help out over there. So Ice Ball is saved for the moment. In the meantime, a bit of engagement was going on here, but he has already pushed back Amintus. So not too much going on there at this point. And all the units that were in the mids finally arrived to fight here for this TC. He should definitely get this Pharaoh down. That's like his most important thing to do at this point. He doesn't want this to come up, because if it does, look at the gold. It's gonna be mercenaries like no tomorrow. Somebody should do something about this TC ASAP. Come on, Pharaoh, empower. Empower, please. That's a mistake for me. And yes, the TC is up at this point, so that is gonna mean that mercenaries are coming in, and it's gonna be meaning that Heliax is on just 1 at this point. So the Vils from Iceball moving here forward, he's kind of thinking that that's the most secure way to gather gold at this point, and I kind of have to say that I agree with him. That's probably the safest position in there. Even Amint is helping here, so it's gonna be kind of a 3 versus 2 on this side here. And since my army is actually pretty much gone, I have some units here, but that's about it. It's gonna be just the mercenaries trying to keep up with all of this. Is Valley of the Kings coming in? That would be absolutely essential for me. Is it already up, Valley of the Kings? No, it isn't. That is absolutely essential for me at this point, especially since there's only gonna be 1 Migdol over there. Iceball seems to have recovered at this point, and he's moving in with some Hersers to assist at least a bit on this side of the map. This is a very lively game indeed, and it's gonna be Trubbish here with all the siege stars trying to do something about Ragnaroks, but this TC is not gonna fall since all of this because of the Underworld Passage, and I'm thinking that he's gonna be just alright, just because he could bounce back that easily. On the other hand, my TC over here with no upgrade yet, it's not gonna be in a very good spot, I'm thinking. With all the destroyers here, just 2 Vils here to fix that, that's not gonna be all that great of a case for me. So I'm gonna try to build a second Migdol over there. But yeah, it seems like my shenanigans here are coming to an end, if this assistance is not gonna be enough. So the shenanigans are gone for the moment. I do have some elephants coming in, but is Valley of the King yet coming up? I'm thinking they aren't, and they really should. It really should be coming up. So second Migdol being built. This Migdol might fall soon. It's not looking all that great for this Migdol, to be honest. Not looking all that great. And Trubbish is quite nicely set up, I'm thinking, even having the catapults in there. Yeah, Trubbish is quite nicely set up on this side, and I'm not really setting up for anything else than my back build shenanigans. Let's see if that's gonna be proving to be a mistake for me. And on this side of the field, the TC was actually very close to falling, a whole lot closer than I would have expected it to be. And the ceasefire is coming in, but there is no Vils near here to maybe retake this TC for me. So it's gonna be maybe Kvav trying to retake that TC. So let's see if he's gonna be going for that. The chaos was used and he got some elephant here. It seems like Kvav is definitely aiming for that, to retake that TC and even take this one for himself. So he's gonna be at 3 TCs all of a sudden. This side in the meantime. Okay, so Ragnarok's army is here. He may Okay, so the siege was maybe even for the Vils actually. But it seems like Haliax is going to be taking good advantage of that. And I'm going to be moving in with some more units. And the Toph is going to be coming in for me, from the looks of it.
Into you. Enrage.
So not that many units from me. Nothing from Pink at the moment. So this army is going to be all lost most likely. With the camels coming in, that fully counters my unit composition here. This is not going to stand for much longer, this position here. And as you guys can see, I seem to be realizing that and set up there at the moment. In the meantime, what's going on this side? Not much. Not much. It seems like Ragnarok is going to be trying to save the underworld passage. But I'm thinking that it's going to be quite a bit too late at this point. I think he should probably retreat. As he is right now realizing, he's realizing that this position is kind of lost at this point. And he should just be trying to focus on killing Amintus. And he actually seemed to have a TC of Pink. Okay, that's something interesting. So, careful about this Phoenix, you don't want to lose it. Now I realized I was just... what I just all said was just made no sense what I was babbling all about. I wasn't a mythic, so I couldn't even get the Valley of the Kings if I wanted to. Yeah, that kind of makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, but now it's finally in, so that's gonna be putting me in a pretty decent position at this point. It is gonna be developing into some sort of a 1v2 over here, but I'm thinking that I will just be fine with Iceball doing pretty well in there as well. So this is gonna be quite a bit of villagers lost for me. Freya gonna be using the Earthquake, which is gonna get rid of Trubbish Migdol. These Vils are not gonna be in a very good spot for themselves, sadly. Okay, so it seems like my elephants finally dealt with all the nonsense from my opponent here. Are there any ups coming up yet? Copper Shields would have been very helpful if I had it. My TC got destroyed by something, I don't know what. I should have actually checked it. I remember in the game as well that my TC was gone all of a sudden. I have no idea why. Anyway, so the ups are coming in. It is still sort of a double, but with the new Migdol coming up, I'm thinking that I'm going to be pretty much fine. I'm not getting any gold at this point though. In the meantime, it seems like I used my meteor on this side of the field to get rid of Amintus forward, and let's see how lucky we're going to be with the strikes. Maybe one more on the TC, at least some military buildings down, quite a lot of Vils, quite a lot of military too. Yeah, and it seems like both Haliax and Amintus were realizing that this game wasn't up for their grabs anymore, even though I was gold starved at this point. There was no way for me to get gold at this point. Ah, so the TC here was gone as well, somehow. Ah, this is why. Let me check Trubbish perspective. Yeah, he was catapult raiding. Ah, that's very nice, of course. That makes sense. Now it makes sense. Oh, very well played by Trubbish in there. That really gave them some sort of upper hand, but sadly for them, that just wasn't enough. So yeah, let's have a look at the past game. So it's gonna be Freya being the MVP, which makes sense. He did play very well overall. Let's have a look at this over here. Yeah, he's gonna be strongest in economy pretty much as well. Although, if we don't consider the wood, since I wasn't using much, we are pretty much equal, except for the wood. Otherwise, yeah, that was pretty much it. So it seems like we were the most boomed in this game. So actually for Ragnaroks and me, not the good KDs that you would be expecting. Actually nobody is really outstanding except for Iceball. He didn't kill much though, but at least he didn't lose much either. So well done by him. He didn't make much units actually. let's have a look at this. Pretty much standard. You can see a pretty late mythical age from everybody actually, except for Trubbish. Trubbish went for the fast mythic, and for me and Freya, the mythical age was fairly late, and the opponents weren't even in the mythical age just yet. So that's something interesting to point out. Not that much upgrades either. Just let's have a look at what's going on in the upgrade department. So villagers, pretty much okay. Eco ups except for the farming from Amintus. Does he have some army somewhere I can check? No, he doesn't. That's gonna make it fairly hard to check the. Okay, well, never mind. We can check Amintus. Ragnarok's doing very well on the eco ups there and military ups. Okay, so pretty much decent in there. Not too much actually. It was fairly low on upgrades. Maybe I can check through this. No, this is Strahssis ups like this. Let me try for Amintus. Maybe I can see it like this. I just wanna check that. If how can I check this? Come on. Okay, so he just had the copper shields, but that's not that much. It made sense versus all the Tox OTs, but that's about it. So let's have a look at Ice Ball. Not that great upgrades in there. Where is his Hursars? Ah, there they are. Flame weapons up. He was quite hammered in the early game, so it's kind of understandable that he didn't have much upgrades yet. He was kind of killed in the early game. He had a really rough game because I, and also Freya actually, we just decided to let him die and boom. Okay, so eco ups for Trubbish. Very, very good. Fully upgraded there. Military ups. Quite lacking. Everybody is quite lacking at this point. I mean, Haliax also quite lacking in military. Eco ups also quite lacking. For me, eco ups fully upgraded. So it seems like Trubbish and I were the only ones with fully upgraded eco, and yeah, upgrades as well quite lacking. So everybody was quite lacking in the upgrades apparently. So let's have a look at this for the last part. Something interesting here. Not really. Except for this guy. Kvav seemed to be going for Satyrs. Yeah, so we can see the very powerful boom by Ragnarok's here. Well played by him. Okay, so I guess that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And GG. See you guys next time. Bye bye.